Good afternoon, Colorado. Welcome to a Thursday edition of What's for Lunch / Dinner. On today's episode, we have Michael from Nola, Janes, and Lodo.
How we doing?
So it's lunch / dinner. We're getting a little late start today because...
Well, I got my COVID vaccination.
We're pro-vaccinations here.
I like that.
In case anybody wondered, I'm vaccinated too, so we're allowed to stand near each other without masks. Before we get into the history, I say we start drinking.
I think it's a great idea.
What'd you bring me to drink?
So we're having a hurricane today.
Cheers.
Our hurricanes are on draft at Nola Jane in both bars.
Come on.
Oh yeah, give it a little stir.
Dude, it was really good without the stir.
There you go.
So stir it. Do you know anything about the hurricane? Can you give us like a history
I
of
can
it?
tell you everything about this hurricane.
Good.
Well, at least this one.
Oh. Well, do you know anything about, like, is there a history lesson at all?
I believe it was Pat O'Brien's that
makes
started
sense.
it.
Have one there.
Sugary death concoction, of course, as it should be.
And what's in a hurricane?
So we make ours more of a traditional way, not that it's really a traditional cocktail, but 3 different rums. We have light, dark, and spiced. A little bit of triple sec to cut it, a little sweet. We bring in a little lime juice, passion fruit, and then it's garnished. The red you see here, the pink, is Bordeaux cherry juice.
Ah, instead of grenadine.
So, yeah.
Fancy.
You know, a couple of these, you'll be diabetic, but very happy. And
If I have one of these, I'm going to be out cold.
Hey!
Hey. All right, now let's get into the history of you and your restaurant.
Well, Nola Jane, we opened February 26th. We're over on Market Street.
What's the exact address?
1435 Market, so
14th
between
and Market.
14th and 15th.
Okay.
Was formerly the Poorhouse.
Okay.
But our friends at the Poorhouse, they moved across the street, so we jumped into their spot.
And describe your concept.
All right. Well, for years, back in Aspen, Colorado, I had a New Orleans concept. It's called the Square Grouper. We had success with it. It was great. Sold at the right time, got out of business. And when I got approached by my now partners, we said, what can we do? What's a good concept? What's going to work here in Denver? What aren't we seeing? I said, hey, we tried this before and it worked. Should we do it again? And we took it to the next level. We really upped it.
When did you open?
Feb 26. So we're...
Of 2021.
Of 2021. We're babies. We're a little over 8 weeks old.
So you're one of those people, because people ask me all the time, they go, what kind of an idiot opens up during a pandemic?
This guy, of course.
Yeah.
We're happy drinkers. That's what it is.
I happen to think that it's not a terrible idea, because I think leases should have come down a bit.
They did.
And then you can have a soft opening instead of getting killed when you normally open a restaurant, because you can only be at 50%.
Yep.
So you get to work out the kinks, because no matter how good a restaurateur you are, your restaurant sucks for the first few months.
Oh, certainly.
Until you figure shit out. Oops, stuff. Sorry, Josh. Beep that out. Beep that out.
It's live!
It's my second curse today.
There'll be more later, I promise.
Yeah, if I keep drinking this, there's going to be some F-bombs coming.
That's what they're there
And
for.
then we're going to have some fun with these beads, too.
I've seen it get weird. So, yeah, for us, we might have just caught lightning in a bottle. We got a great lease thanks to our landlords who've been very good to us. They were patient, they were understanding, that's great, which is a rarity in the restaurant business.
Oh, man, things have changed.
Yeah, right.
But now the labor market's the issue.
Yeah, exactly. Now it's just a matter of balance for us. But we opened, and almost immediately they lifted some of the restrictions. And now they're lifting a little more. So we get to, like you say, ease into it. And so far, it's been very well received.
And how would you describe your cuisine?
We're Cajun, Creole, and certainly a little bit of bar fare. But I have to give Denver kudos. I came on, I built this menu, and I said, look, we're going to do some traditional stuff, but I'm going to bring in what you would expect to find in a bar restaurant in Colorado, too. Back in Aspen, that's what really sold. Fried chicken sandwiches, burgers, all kinds of fun things like that are great. Mm-hmm. Denver, they go after the real stuff.
Good.
They're eating etouffee and dirty rice and catfish plates. I mean, this is what we're selling, and I'm loving it.
Certainly, if I came there, I would not order a hamburger.
There you go.
Just to never understand, I was just at a Mexican restaurant, and somebody ordered a hamburger. I'm like, you don't go here for a hamburger.
Don't get me wrong, they're great, but I love actually getting to teach people this cuisine that really isn't that prevalent around here.
So the basic premise of Cajun food is it the Holy Trinity? Is like everything?
Very much so, yeah.
Okay.
So green bell pepper, onion, celery, that's your Holy Trinity. You see it everywhere. It's the Cajun version of mirepoix.
Yeah.
So Cajun versus Creole. Cajun cuisine is the French side. Creole is the Spanish influence.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't know New Orleans has a tremendous Spanish population, or at least a Spanish influence.
Okay.
So you're seeing things on the French side, heavy butter sauces, black pepper, real French cuisine. And then the Creole side, you get more light and tomato base, things like our jambalayas, which is basically the Cajun, or rather the Creole answer to, say, a paella.
Uh-huh.
And it's the combination of the two together is phenomenal. It just makes for such great eating.
Let's talk about what you brought me for
Yeah.
lunch/dinner.
All right.
Just go in order here.
Let's start. So this is that's our honey cornbread. And as much as I would love to tell you that's my recipe, I have to bow in awe at my mentor, Tom Slenga. He brought this recipe to us in the first restaurant, and it is just to die for. We had to bring it back. It's almost like cake and cornbread together.
Delicious.
Right here we have collard greens. Certainly not a vegetarian dish, even though it's very green and really good for you.
What's the secret to good collard green?
The secret's right here. This is a little Fresno pepper vinegar that we make in-house. A little garnish. But you've got bacon, you've got tasso, which is a smoked cured ham, kind of like a Cajun bacon. And it's got ham hock as well. So this is, for two Jewish guys up here, this is the great dish for both of us. Phenomenal, right?
That's incredible.
I'm glad you enjoy.
I'm not that big a fan of it, but I would eat the hell out of that.
I'm glad.
All right.
Here, this is sort of the signature side that we sell the most of. In New Orleans, there's a dish called barbecue shrimp.
Yeah.
And the name is very deceiving. It's nothing barbecue at all.
There's a place that was like famous for it, not
Mr. B's.
Okay.
Mr. B's. There's also, like Pascal Manelli's or something like that, but it's Mr. B's is the big one. So what we do here is we take the barbecue shrimp dish, which is basically a black pepper, Worcestershire, and citrus beurre blanc. It's a built folded sauce, drowned prawns in it, and then you basically get a bib and French bread, and you go to town. We took that sauce, made it into a compound butter, and mixed it with our mac and cheese sauce, and this is the one that people go nuts for. So you get lots of black pepper off of it, a little bit of citrus, a little Worcestershire.
But this is a side.
Oh yeah, and there's people order this as their entree though, big one. This is one of our veggie-ish options. Down in New Orleans, there's a Cajun corn casserole called mock choux. This is mock choux. Fully veg, except it does have a little bit of dairy to it, a little bit of cream.
Good.
All right. All veg stock, something good fun. And now I had to bring my favorite. This is why I carry the physique that I do right here. This is thank you. So this is our dirty rice, which is rice cooked with stock, chicken liver, ground pork, and bacon.
Is that traditional?
It is.
Okay.
Very much so. You have blackened catfish over it and smothered in crawfish etouffee. Etouffee is basically it means smothered, and it's a smothered dish. We take a built roux folded sauce and load it up with flavor.
Roux's a big thing too, isn't it, in your cooking?
Absolutely. The one thing I didn't bring for you today that I wish I could have, just given the nature of the setup here, our gumbo is a very dark roux. So it's not a city gumbo, it's more country, is what they would say. And we take the roux itself and cook it for every bit of 45 to an hour, if not longer and longer.
I mean, people DM me all the time, where can I get authentic this, that? If they're asking me for Cajun Creole, I can send to you, this is authentic?
I promise you.
Okay. I'm not an expert. What do I know? What do you know? You're a Jew also.
I know.
We don't know this food.
From Detroit. Of course I cook Southern food. Why wouldn't I?
What are your hours these days?
We're open at 11 a.m. and we go till 2 a.m. as long as they let us.
Okay.
And something very important that we like to get out there is as long as the bars move and the kitchen's open. So I want people, industry folk, bartenders, chefs, I want you guys coming in to eat late. Eat
full
a real
menu?
Meal. A full menu.
Full menu till you close.
Full menu. Absolutely.
Okay. We doing brunch?
Brunch on Saturdays and Sundays right now, but same hours, still 11 o'clock.
Anything special about brunch?
We do a couple fun dishes. They're all kind of traditional meats, a little funky. So, we have our biscuits and gravy. We have our chicken and waffles. Get to the funky side, we do a crawfish Benedict. So we take a biscuit.
Makes sense.
We do some of the collard greens. We do some of that sliced tasso ham that's in the collard greens, poached eggs, and then smothered in etouffee. So instead of the hollandaise, it's really got that seafood umami to it. It's really good.
Bottomless?
Bottomless, I believe, is Sundays.
Okay.
I believe so.
Should do bottomless, man.
That won't last long. I've seen terrible things with the hurricanes.
Yes.
No, it's wonderful.
Yes.
We're having so much fun with it. We really are.
Happy hour?
Happy hour every day for lunch. Happy hour starts, I want to say 11, goes through till about 5. My partner over there is like, 5.
Should we make him come on camera?
Trivia.
Oh, only if he wants to.
Does he want?
Yeah, we do trivia.
I mean, he's willing to speak. You'd think he'd be willing to get on camera. All right.
We do trivia every Wednesday at 7. Crawfish boils. And actually, we switch up the boil. Crawfish, crab, you name it. And that's been on Sundays. We're playing around and may move it to Saturday.
All right. What's your website?
NolaJaneLodo.com.
Okay. Taking reservations?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Reservations, we do to go, the works.
Delivery?
Not yet, but Grubhub, Postmates, all that jazz.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been
Did he
interesting.
forget anything?
No, spot
So far.
From the random studio audience member.
Exactly.
Pleasure to meet you, Michael.
It's a privilege to be here. Thank you guys for what you do for all the restaurants out there. Truly.
We're doing what we can. We'll be back at this again tomorrow for lunch slash dinner. Let's eat. Dude. You know it's good when it's good cold. And I just had lunch too because I couldn't wait till 2 o'clock.